The story of My Lovely Liar continues with Kim meeting his neighbor in the elevator. He overhears Sol-hee talking about a blind date and starts thinking she might be seeing someone. That night, the liar hunter meets a client who suspects her fiancé is lying to her. After a conversation, Sol-hee confirms the suspicions and advises her client to break up with her fiancé, but she decides to stay in the relationship. This conversation reminds Sol-hee of Kang-min, her ex-fiancé, of the love she felt, and how that love ended when he started lying to her. Feeling sad, Sol-hee goes to a bar to drink, where she meets Ji-hoon, the man who had an affair with his girlfriend's maid. He confronts her and blames her for ruining his life. Fortunately, Kim was also there playing the piano and notices Sol-hee is in trouble. He steps in to protect her, but, in his hurry, forgets to put on his mask. Kim takes a drunk Sol-hee home and notices she's acting cutely. They end up eating at a restaurant, and back at the apartment, Sol-hee suggests that people are too busy with their own lives to care much about his. Meanwhile, the singer Sayeon is looking for Kim, unaware that she's being followed by paparazzi. When Kim parks the car, Sol-hee sees two reporters outside the apartment and suspects they're after Kim. She tries to warn him. To throw off the reporters, Sol-hee runs towards Kim, calls him dear, and blocks the paparazzi's cameras. She pretends he is her boyfriend, puts the mask on Kim, grabs his arm and leads him away. Sol-hee continues pretending not to know that he's the famous composer and lies, saying she got bad vibes from the men. They realize the men followed them. Kim was so nervous that he couldn't get the door code right, and Sol-hee pushes him into her apartment. The paparazzi ask if she knows the neighbor next door, but she lies, saying there's no one living there. The paparazzi decide to wait until Kim Do-ha shows up. Sol-hee tells Kim to come inside, but she sees her house is a mess and rushes to tidy up before he notices. Kim finds out that his neighbor's name is Mok Sol-hee and comments that it's a unique name. She asks for his name and he says it's Kim Seon-ju. Sol-hee is surprised to discover that this is Kim Do-ha's real name. While Kim checks if the paparazzi are gone, Sol-hee sees Sayeon calling Kim and feels confused. In the meeting with Mr. Park, he said he wasn't dating her, and she starts wondering if her ability to detect lies doesn't work with Kim. To test her theory, Sol-hee asks if he finds the singer Sayeon attractive, but Kim says he never saw her as a woman. Sol-hee confirms it's true, but is still confused. The paparazzi cause a commotion in the hallway, and the police are called. When Sol-hee opens the door, she comes face to face with her ex-boyfriend, Lee Kang-min, who is a police officer. They are surprised to see each other again. He sees men's shoes at the door and asks if she's married, and she says no. Kang-min receives a call and, before leaving, tells her he missed her a lot. Both are visibly shaken by the encounter, and it seems there are still feelings between them. Kim overhears the conversation and tells Sol-hee to clear up the misunderstanding next time before going home. The next day, Sol-hee is still thinking that her abilities don't work with Kim. As she arrives at the building, she runs into Kim leaving with a friend. Sol-hee greets them. Joe introduces himself as Kim's friend and offers his business card, but realizes it would reveal their identities. Sol-hee knows he's the CEO of Kim's agency, but pretends to know nothing and gives him her business card instead. Sol-hee catches Joe in a lie several times and keeps asking questions. She realizes her powers only work on Joe and not on Kim. Joe says they have an appointment and they rush off. Talking with Kim, Joe realizes Kim is interested in Sol-hee. The next day, Kim is stopped by someone and he immediately remembers being attacked and called a murderer. But it's just the bakery owner returning his wallet, which he had dropped. Sol-hee finds Kim on the street, but he runs away from her. She tries to invite him to dinner, but he says no multiple times. It seems his memories have unsettled him, but Sol-hee insists and gets a yes and his phone number. While Sol-hee is closing the cafe, her ex shows up. Lee Kang-min apologizes for what happened in the past, but Sol-hee asks if he's apologizing for canceling the wedding 1 month after proposing or for leaving and changing his number right after the breakup. Kang-min tries to talk, but Sol-hee doesn't want to hear it. She says he never called in 3 years, and now that they've run into each other by coincidence, he shows up saying he's sorry. But he says it wasn't a coincidence. He found out where she lived and moved there to see if he could find her. She asks why he didn't call, and he says she wouldn't have answered. Kang-min also says he thought she might be dating someone, and Sol-hee lies, saying she has a boyfriend. At that moment, Kim arrives and asks Sol-hee if she has a problem. Kang-min asks if that's her boyfriend, and before Kim can answer, Sol-hee says yes. Kim decides to go along with the lie and holds Sol-hee's hand. Kang-min looks very sad, apologizes, and leaves. As he walks away, Sol-hee tries to let go of Kim's hand, but he holds on and makes up the excuse that he'll walk her home because Kang-min might come back. If you want to follow the complete story of My Lovely Liar, leave a like and subscribe to the channel.